every ounce of the beautiful work you've been doing over these last 16 months with the North Node moving through Taurus. This is like what did you get from that? Like, what was the value that you were able to harvest during this transit, as far as like knowing your worth in a more solid way, knowing your inner peace more personally? What new strength, because that's what it gives you, what new strength do you have access to? What new roots into your own solid ground do you have? Like, I'm picturing this, like this tree that over the last 15, 16 months with the North Node going through Taurus, this tree has gone from like a flapping in the wind kind of palm tree thing to like an oak tree that has just like no give in it whatsoever. And that in and of itself, like not being flexible and being rigid, is again one of the shadows of Taurus. But with the North Node going through Taurus, that's what we're leaning into, is being more rigid, being more sure-footed inside of our vessel, being more rooted during the storm, of like, let whoever's emotional storm happen around you as much as it has to, and the tree just kind of like waits it out. You're just doing your thing. Yeah, that's amazing. And that reminds me of a story from yesterday, which I cannot believe this happened the day before I have to do this, because it did feel exactly like that. Like, and that, with the new moon in Taurus happening May 19th, it's like 2 months until the nodes are going to change signs. So again, this feels kind of like the home stretch of like what we're meant to get out of this nodal cycle. This is really bringing it into focus, as far as like, where else are you needing to kind of like claim and root into your own security? Like, where else is somebody else's emotional turbulence pushing you around and dictating things for you? That's kind of that balance between Scorpio and Taurus. It's like, am I up for emotional manipulation or not? And people are allowed their attempts to manipulate you, like they get to do whatever they want. They have free will. I get to do whatever I want. I have free will. And so this situation yesterday, it was a customer who felt hurt by a decision that the manager of my store had made. And, I'm sitting there looking at it like, he made the call and she's mad, and I don't want to go in there. I really don't. She's so mad. I don't want to walk into a storm on purpose. I'm a Taurus rising. I'm a peaceful creature. But I also was like, you know what? Like, I don't want to leave him completely unprotected. Like, I want to lend my strength and my deep roots of my security to this situation. And what happened was, for a few minutes, he was outside when she got there. And so I went and talked to her first, and we were together for a few minutes. And I would say I definitely got the brunt of it. But that's exactly what I did, was just stand there with my roots, knowing that this storm isn't me. This storm is happening around me. I'm just the tree. I'm just standing here with my roots, listening to what she's offering. And the more I listened, the calmer she got. I did not interrupt. I was too scared to interrupt, to be honest with you. I just listened. I was like, she's mad and she's in the volcano erupting, that like deep scorpionic pain that will lash out at other people. She's in that. And there's no putting the lid back on the volcano. So at a certain point, you have two options. Like, either you can jump in to the pool of lava, you could like get sucked up into the tornado and get carried away with their emotional storm, or you can stand there with your roots in the ground and wait it out. And you will be left standing. The storm will pass. It's the same as weather. Our emotions are the same as weather. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if kind of the entire month of May, I'm actually kind of glad that we're doing this so early, where it's like the end of April, so that I can say this part about the entire month of May promises one of the clearest mirrors for our emotional baggage that we've gotten to look at in decades. And I say that because of this end of the North Node cycle where the Scorpio South Node is kind of doing its big finale. We have this new moon, we have the Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse on May 5th. Like, it's easy to possibly be afraid or to like be scared of this mirror. Like, typically what we keep hidden in our unconscious, what ends up being our emotional baggage, is that for a reason. And to have to look at it is typically it's typically painful. And so I don't want to sugarcoat that, and I don't want to, be misleading. I don't want to wrap what I'm saying in fluffy, pretty language. What I'm saying is that I do believe the month of May is going to be emotionally turbulent, emotionally volatile. I wouldn't be surprised if more than one volcano erupts during the month of May. There's just a lot. There's a lot of pent up energy that needs to come out. That, like, ew, gross. This is so gross, but this is what it is. Oh God, when I was in high school, I worked at a vet clinic, and on my first freaking day, the vet calls me out there. He's like, "Hey, Carly, come out here. I need help." He had a large animal and a small animal practice. And so he was out in the large animal area. He had a cow in the chute, and the cow had a beach ball on the side of its neck, like just a round lump that's like this freaking big coming off the side of its neck. And I didn't know what he was going to do. And he's like, "Here, hold this." And he has me holding this bucket like up to the side of it. And he takes a scalpel and he slices down, and something that looked like curdled chocolate milk, did not smell like, it smelled like something dead, came out of this abscess. And that is what we have emotionally. It's like an emotional abscess that, in order to heal an abscess at a certain point, like, I'm pretty sure the beginning is to kind of like see if it's going to clear itself up naturally, see if your immune system can fight it, and like whatever. It's like a big infection, basically. And eventually you have to cut it and clean it out. You have to like open it up so that it can drain. And from there, like, you pack it, and it's like a whole healing process of like what happens to, like, again, picture that emotionally. Like, dude, like, to open you up, dump out all the gross stuff, and then you're just kind of empty, but still a little infected. But once you're empty, the real healing can Gemini and Aries, and double whammy if you have a sextile between them, because that's like the kind of the